How's the writing process been?
So the writing process for me has been a bit challenging. I never thought I would write a book. That was never a goal. That was never my dream. I actually was a little traumatized with my writing skills. But I basically worked with a publishing company that has helped me immensely. They're actually helping me open up my own publishing company, which is amazing. And you'll get some of that information more in detail later on. But I speaking to a ghostwriter, and she was really getting into my heart. But in the transition of that, there were just some things in the book that I didn't like the way it was transposed. So right now, we're in the middle of completing the book and really tearing it apart, putting it into pieces, making sure that it flows, making sure that it's going to capture the attention of the audience. And not just one particular audience, but you can, from children to 100 years old, they're going to be so intrigued in the passion and really in the struggle versus the victory that's happening in this book. I see how before I'm sleeping, when I'm waking up in my dreams, God is giving me words and phrases and paragraphs and everything that I need to put together in the book, in the content of the book, so that when people open it, they won't want to put it down until it's done. So it's been a journey, but everything that it's a process, everything that requires work and requires focus, it's also going to be an amazing output. So that's life, right? And you have to kind of embrace it and say, okay, well, it's a struggle. I've had many roadblocks, not just one. I've cried, I've laughed, I've researched, spoken to people, interviewed people, done so many things to just understand the whole concept of what I'm talking about in the book, and so that everybody can see different perspectives, because there's not only one side of the story. So writing is not my forte, but I tell you what, I think we're gonna do okay. So the name of the book is Prevail, and the reason why I chose that name, actually my daughter and I chose the name, was because I saw my mother struggle through her whole life, being in the church and in the marriage and with the children. And I saw her really overcome some serious challenges that I don't see too many men or women overcome. So that's really the main goal. I wanted my mom to write this book many years ago, and a few months ago, God put it in my heart, in my spirit, that I needed to write the book. It was a burning desire, a passion that I had, that I really needed people to understand that there is true inner healing. There is true restoration. You can actually change your life from depression, anxiety, and struggle to really living a life of joy. So when I saw my mother's life and I saw what she overcame, I needed to write it on paper. Kind of steps and stories that she went through, and really how I saw my parents growing up, the good, the bad, the ugly type thing. And really that there is an escape from, sometimes people find themselves kind of like in a box and they can't get out that box, and they find themselves in darkness. Doesn't matter where they're at, but there's a way to get out of that darkness. And that's really what the book is about. It's about power, abuse of power, and how you can overcome that abuse of power, right? I talk a little bit about narcissism. I talk a little bit about religion. I talk a little bit about different aspects of how you perceive religion. But then I talk about how that is so different from having a true relationship with God. And that's what the world doesn't know. The world doesn't know that it's not about the religion or what you do, because anything could be a religion, anything could be an addiction. Church could be an addiction. There could be so many things, but when you find that true joy is really finding that true relationship with God. So I saw that in my mom. I saw so many things. She's my hero. She's the person I look up to, my mentor, my best friend. I'm privileged to have a mom like her. And everything that I talk about, everybody around me growing up contributed to it. but it's something that people need to understand. You can get out of that darkness, and that's what the book is about.